Hello, it's Fran Davidson from psychicandenergywork.com.au, and this is my part 2 instalment for the monthly observations of January 2026. Part 2 always looks at the birth number for the month that we're examining, January 2026. The birth number tells us what we're about to learn through, bump into, quite possibly as spiritual and egoic dynamics that help us evolve, or at least invite us to. And therefore, what we're going to be given the choice to step into more as a dynamic, as a stance, as an awareness over the next few weeks. If you go through to the website Psychic and Energy Work to my monthly observations page, you'll see that I've outlined a little bit about this month at birth number level. So the job of this video is not to repeat that here, it's to extend on it. So feel free to read what's on the website, because that will help to widen the perspectives on January 2026. Anyway, within all of that writing, I'm talking about the fact that 1 and 7 really are what could be called the main rhythms for this month. Now, that's a bit of a furphy because, we've got the generic birth number of 1. January is the first month of the Gregorian calendar. But also on a specific level, if we combine January's 1 with 2026, this month delivers a specific birth number of 2027, which reduces through 11 on its way to 2. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 7 equals 11. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Yeah? So 1s and 7, in one sense, they are the digits or the vibrations to watch. Now, 1 and 7, as I've talked about on the website, they're about self-knowledge. They're about coming to the point where, you know what, I know who I am. I know how life works for me. I get things now. I get things in a way that I don't have to question what I'm doing so much. I don't have any more doubts because I get it. I get who I am. I get what I'm here for. I get how to work with life to make things happen, or to allow things to happen, probably more importantly. But within that, of course, are a few interesting points, because knowing is very much part of a 7 dance. 7 on one level, on a spiritual level, it asks us to not know for a second so as to confirm what we thought we knew, and also glean anything more that we may not have sensed before. So what do I mean by that? 7 is very much the number of mind. 7 can therefore be read as I think, I know, I have an opinion. And of course we all do that regularly, and that can be really wonderful. But egoic self, of course, can get rather fixed, and that doesn't necessarily have to be a very loud or obvious stance. Mind can just start getting into the habit of thinking, of analysing, of processing, of offering opinion. And again, all of those things can be wonderful. But when we get too used to it, we can start to create for ourselves, often in a way that we're not even aware that we're doing at first, a level of fixed as in fixedness, limitation, limited thinking, that's the sort of projection that starts to jam flow up, or at least restrict it to, say, a metre wide rather than infinity wide. So 1, and bear with me, 1 is also very much a dynamic that can dare us to let go of ourselves enough to actually sense the all of ourselves that we really are. What do I mean by that? 1 is self, so therefore 1 can be what could be called self-importance. That needn't play out necessarily as arrogance or conceit, even though on a spiritual level it always does. But 1 can be I know, in a way that, you know what, well, for whatever I know, that's it. That's all life is. And of course, life is never really that. The scope, the potential, infinity is never that, no matter how good our view is. So 1 and 7 ask us at times to come to the place that we can say, I really don't know. I don't know. Not as a place of weakness, but as a place of beginning. as a place of receiving. In other words, 1 and 7 can invite the individual to, on a regular basis, to let go of itself, to let go of all self, but to also let go of everything it's gathered, not because it does it as a devaluing activity, a dismissive activity. Right, everything I know is rubbish, I'm just going to put it in the bin or, call it rubbish, yeah? But these dynamics ask us to let go of everything we know. One, to confirm the accuracy of that and also the depth of it, the value of it, but also to check whether there's anything more, possibly, that we could realize, that we could run with, that we could adopt in a way that really helps the future to unfold in all the ways it can. So coming to I don't know is an invaluable place when we're talking about attracting, succeeding, manifesting, irrespective of whether our focus is on energy, on physical gains, on relationship gains, whatever. Because on one level, like all numbers, 1 and 7 sort of ask us to be present. We will manifest the best future by being present. And being present is, I don't know what's going to happen next. That's not a state of caring less about the future or how we engage with it. It's more about presence is the place where I don't need to be in tomorrow. I need to be here, because here, right now, is where I will best perceive, best observe all there is to observe, and therefore best allow, enable everything that wants to flow in next to flow in as it can, for me to then understand, choose, and decide what to do with everything, as an individual that's here to do or achieve certain things. So this month, January 2026, and as the last month before the new lunar year, this is often the case. January is often, or can often be, a time that feels like it's a bit of a lull. It's, yes, all right, the Gregorian calendar started, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everything's just kicking into gear. Partly, of course, because so many people are on holidays and businesses are shut down. But it's not just that. It's also the energy of it. The new year often doesn't start until the new lunar year kicks over. And that, I think, is in February this year. Sorry, I haven't checked. So be aware that this month wants you unknowing, or more importantly, not knowing. And when I say that, what do I mean? To not know, again, isn't to reject everything you've gathered. It is to actually just let go of it for a moment and just let it hang in air for a minute. So you're not diminishing its value. You're not labeling it. All you're doing is letting it go and creating space between that part of you that functions on what you know. In other words, I know enough and therefore I think, and because I think I start to drive in a particular direction without necessarily having a quality break to check out whether or not that was valid or as sound as it could be. I hope these words make sense, because really in all, this January is a time that wants everybody to come further into connection with, yes, their guidance, yes, with the universe and therefore universal will, but also further into connection with their sense of self, their sense of what I know is firm, what I know is good quality, but also what I know is clear enough now for me to take steps, even if I don't know the whole picture, even if I don't know where I'm going to add up or end up. Because 1 and 7 also ask us to listen to our intuition, use our intuition, follow our gut feel, back it in a way that even if you don't know what happens next, that's not matters, because as it happens, you will intuit how to engage, how to respond, and what to offer the world in that sequence. So all the very best to you for January. Travel well. Enjoy your lunar year lead-up period and take good care. All the very best to you. Get in contact if you get questions.